Hello Internet, so nice to see you. They told you that on a dominant blues, let's say a blues in A, you can play the A minor pentatonic. And well, that's wrong, okay? And you will notice that it's wrong because great players practically never play the simple, plain A minor pentatonic on the dominant blues. They just don't, okay? The pentatonic more or less work, but great players do another thing. They start from a minor pentatonic and then they adapt it on the chord that is playing right now. It's very simple once you know how it's done, okay? And it sounds amazing. You will recognize the sound immediately as soon as you hear it. Now, a student asked me exactly how to do all that, and here's my answer.
My biggest problem is improvising over blues because you got three dominant chords and I get caught up in the pentatonic box. And basically I'm always stuck in the A minor pentatonic box. And I'd like to know what you could do to get out of that and how you follow the chord changes so it doesn't sound like a pentatonic, because a lot of the notes clash when you get to a fifth chord.
If you play an A dominant blues will have the A7th, the E7th, the D7, sorry, and then some sort of E7, typically with a sharp 9 or something, okay? You should never actually play the A minor pentatonic.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be one sour note. Let's review, okay? So I'm playing an A7. You're going to play an A minor pentatonic very slowly, and you guys are going to raise your hand the moment you think the note is sour. You heard one sour note. If you did not hear any sour note, it's a problem. Okay. The sour note was the natural C. Play the, you know what's natural C, no? So that one. So. You hear that? Again. I mean, if we keep playing, eventually I'm like, okay. But now take that note and just bend it slightly. Bit more? Bit more? Sounds better now, huh? Now, rather than playing that note, just play the note a half step above. So don't bend it now, just play it. That would be better, huh? Yes or no? So here's the thing. We are on a dominant blues in A, what we call a standard blues, okay? On the first chord, which is A7, you will not play this C. Instead, you will play C sharp. So what you want to do is you imagine your A minor pentatonic, but every time you find a C, you play a C sharp instead.
Okay.
Very slowly, let's try that. You don't have to play the whole thing, but just play something on the pentatonic, and when you hit the C, don't hit the C, hit the C sharp.
Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
So we kind of adapted the scale to that. So the A minor pentatonic, it's a good starting point for the first chord, but it's not correct.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, some people will go like, yeah, but that sound on the C, natural, it's sound of the blues. But if you notice, every good blues player doesn't play that note and leave it there. They always bending it or going somewhere else. They don't stay there. Now we go on the fourth chord, which is D7, which I like to play D9 because I just like the sound. Okay, let's play the same pentatonic, A minor.
Yeah.
And you guys raise your hand when you hear a sour note. So play that in the note, hold it for a moment. Keep going. That one. The sour note is the G because it conflicts with the F sharp of D7. Play that just the G. I play this. Play the G. You can feel that. It's like, ugh. So what do? We take the G and we move it down to the F sharp because it's a note of the chord. So you play the F sharp instead. And now it feels better. Now you learn all the pentatonic, but rather than hitting a G, you hit an F sharp.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, this looks like a lot of work, but what you do is you learn a little piece of the pentatonic, you do it for A7, then for D7, then you improvise a bit, then you expand a little bit, okay, until you get your bearing. But right now, very slowly, try to play the pentatonic, and whenever you're about to hit the G, hit an F sharp instead.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't.
Come back, not a problem.
Sorry.
No, not the G, not the G, the F sharp. That's the G.
Sorry.
It's
You
very,
said
it's
G
very
sharp.
unnatural at first, right?
It's hard to get past that, sorry.
No.
So,
There you go.
that's it.
Makes sense. This fits the fourth chord better. Now the fourth chord is probably the least problematic of the three, but still you would like to hit that. So
Yeah.
at this level, like, what do we do with that? Is every lick you know, you just adapt it, or so whenever you would hit a G on the lick, you hit an F sharp if you're on the fourth chord, on the D7. If whenever you will hit a C, you hit a C sharp if you are on the A7.
Yeah.
So you just modify the licks to fit the chord.
Yeah.
The problem is the fifth chord. I'm gonna play the fifth chord, and you're gonna play the pentatonic, and you guys raise your hand when we hit a sour note. Because the sour note is the A. That is the root of the scale. And all of you, I'm sorry, I'm going to say that. All of you, when you improvise, go back to that root note, okay? As if it's pure sugar and you haven't eaten anything in 30 days. Okay? You always go back to the root note, and so you just learn to hear that A note, even if it sucks. Okay? So rather than play the A, that will conflict with the G sharp of the E7, right? Play a G sharp instead. So take the root of the pentatonic. Yes. Now, in all those situations, well, actually, no. In one situation, the sour note was a minor third rather than a major third. In the other two situations, the sour note was the fourth of the chord. The G over D7 and the A over E7. But the conflict is always with the third note of the chord.
Yeah.
And since the third note of the chord, it's a pretty important note to understand the chord. If you hit that in the solo, you're making everything muddy and confused and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Makes sense? So now, little by little, we cannot do this right now, it's going to take a bit of time, but you think about that, and you replay all your licks, by trying to think on what chord you are,
Yeah.
and modifying the notes. So the A minor 7, it's a nice starting point, but it doesn't fit any of those chords, actually, and you should never play the pentatonic. It's just something we say, something some people say, not I don't, okay, to beginners so that they just get started. But as soon as possible, we should actually take care of those small things, because it makes a big, big, big difference in the sound. And if you play these, and if you play these when you're improvising and you're changing the scale, like a little bit, like you see, because not a big change. During an improvised solo, you can hear that you're hitting the right note, and it sounds completely different.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, no, that was brilliant.
Fantastic.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Michael.
Ciao.